Hello, I'm Laguerre-Wilkinson, and welcome to Arts in the City. We're celebrating the holiday season with some festive treats for everyone, starting right here at the New York Botanical Garden in the Bronx and their annual Holiday Train Show. Now, in its 22nd year, it features 21 model trains taking you past your favorite New York City landmarks. So come along for the ride. Radio City Music Hall, the Brooklyn Bridge, Yankee Stadium, and the Statue of Liberty are all recreated and miniaturized for this year's Holiday Train Show at the New York Botanical Garden.
We work very closely with Paul Bussey from Applied Imagination and his team. We work throughout the year to think about what can be new and exciting for our visitors. We have all of the historic Hudson River Valley mansions grouped together here in the Palm Dome and with a Metro North train running around it, so that's brand new for us.
The meticulous process of handcrafting these models is captured in a section of the show called the Artist Studio. This area of the exhibition gives a behind-the-scenes look into how the models are constructed.
Over 21 years, the question that we've gotten is, how do you make the buildings? So they are a pretty intricate process, but it's exciting for us to display the buildings because they're all made out of plant parts. So they start with a gator board or a foam core base, and then from there they build up all the architectural details with nuts and berries and twigs and bark and all kinds of wonderful little things.
Each replica can take up to 300 hours to build, so planning for each show is a long and arduous process, with initial discussions beginning 5 years in advance of the opening. But the end result is an exhibition that's not only fun to experience, but also perfect for the holiday season. Another holiday favorite are those wonderful and sometimes whimsical holiday windows. Tinabeth Pina gives us a tour.
Everyone knows that shopping can be an amazing experience in New York City, but during the holidays, the windows themselves put on an amazing show when New York City's biggest department stores reveal their holiday windows.
1, 2, 3.
Macy's, which is home to some of New York City's most famous holiday windows, dazzles onlookers with windows that show the magic of dreams through the eyes of a little boy who imagines a crystal-frosted forest with all sorts of characters.
We've really pushed technology this year. I always try to do something great with technology, but this year we really stepped out of the box. Instead of having traditional painted set walls, we've replaced that with giant LED screens, which allowed us more animation and allowed us more depth in the windows.
Macy's always puts out a second set of windows as well, which this year pays tribute to Yes, Virginia, There Is a Santa Claus. In the 1870s, R.H. Macy's was the first to develop the notion of the holiday window display by attractively displaying their festive merchandise in their New York City store windows, a tradition that is not lost on anyone.
Beautiful start for Christmas for me, so it's great.
It's so mystical, it's so magical.
Look at the windows every year as part of our tradition, our holiday shopping tradition.
Lord & Taylor got into the holiday spirit by creating windows inspired by vintage New York. They capture the city's rich history and tradition, along with celebrating the store itself as the iconic building nears its 100th birthday.
We started thinking about the day after the windows opened last year, about what we would do this year, and really came up with Give the Gift of Lord & Taylor, which is a celebration of Lord & Taylor's 100 years here in New York City.
When you look at the beautiful people that are celebrated, the clothes are absolutely stunning, and that's one of my favorite parts of this year's windows.
Bendel's windows pay homage to the late great celebrity character artist Al Hirschfeld. They showcase a variety of celebrities he once drew, while Tiffany's windows depict scenes of Upper East Siders in their apartments, preparing for the holiday season. Bergdorf Goodman's windows, on the other hand, not only celebrate the December holiday season, but holidays throughout the entire year in frozen dioramas. Halloween, April Fool's Day, Independence Day, and Valentine's Day are all on ice. The holiday windows at Bloomingdale's are inspired by holiday shopping from around the globe, including China, France, Great Britain, Italy, and of course, New York City.
Every year we try to do something that's a little bit different, a little bit special, quintessential Bloomingdale's.
Saks holiday windows tell the story of the legendary Yeti, who is rumored to live on the Saks Fifth Avenue roof, making snow during the holiday season.
This is the second year for the Yeti at Saks. This is his first time being animated in the windows. He's also key star in actually video mapping projection that goes alongside our windows, virtually bringing the building to life at night.
The best time to see each and every window is late at night to avoid the crowds and get the best view. So grab your warmest coat, your most comfy shoes, and get going. For Arts in the City, I'm Tinabeth Pina.
They're the blockbusters everyone's been waiting for, and Pat Collins has a movie preview for this holiday season.
The words Merry, Santa, Elf, and Frosty are not in the titles of the many movies opening in December. Your choices at the Cineplex include sequels, Oscar hopefuls, and the true story behind the making of Mary Poppins.
Mrs. Travers, Mr. Disney.
Oh, Walt, now you gotta call me Walt. 20 years ago, I made a promise to my daughters that I would make your Mary Poppins fly off the pages of your book.
I know what he's going to do to her. Made the film in this. Grant the rights.
It took more than a spoonful of sugar for Walt Disney to persuade the author of Mary Poppins to sell him the movie rights to her beloved book. Emma Thompson, playing P.L. Travers, receives the Magic Kingdom's royal treatment from Tom Hanks in Saving Mr. Banks.
You seek that which would bestow upon you the right to rule, the Arkenstone.
What's that?
That, Master Burglar, is why you are here.
Expect a continuation of the events in last year's An Unexpected Journey when Peter Jackson's The Desolation of Smaug opens December 13th.
I am king under the mountain.
It's just fantasy. She's gonna blow!
God, you're not worthy!
And updated, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty sends Ben Stiller on a globe-hopping adventure to find a missing negative for Life magazine's last cover. Kristen Wiig is the co-worker Mitty wants to impress.
The real question is this. Was all this legal?
Stop. Okay. Safety first. Safety.
Move over Gordon Gekko. Real-life convicted stock swindler Jordan Belfort gets the big screen treatment in Martin Scorsese's The Wolf of Wall Street with Leonardo DiCaprio as the profligate, cocky crook. Another real-life scandal inspired David O. Russell's American Hustle.
Hey, play your part. Fine. You play your part.
The film is based on the FBI's 1978 sting operation named Abscam. The A-list cast includes Christian Bale, Amy Adams, Bradley Cooper, and Jennifer Lawrence.
It's got to be the best we've ever done.
What's it like to be alive in that room right now?
I wish I could put my arms around you. Wish I could touch you.
How would you touch me?
Spike Jonze directed the unusual love story, Her. Joaquin Phoenix becomes romantically attached to the sultry voice of an advanced operating system. Scarlett Johansson provides the voice.
Me too. Now we know how.
Broke his heart when you moved away.
That is wildly unfair.
You were Beverly's favorite, you know. I'm sure you prefer to think that Santa Claus brought you presents, too.
Meryl Streep and Julia Roberts are combative mother and daughter in August Osage County, based on Tracy Lett's 2008 Pulitzer Prize-winning play.
There were two people who couldn't go out into the world, so they made a world with each other.
Who can resist escaped convict Josh Brolin with a killer recipe for peach pie? Not Kate Winslet, the reclusive divorced single mother in Labor Day.
I had no way of knowing that my whole world was about to change.
The producers of Walking with Dinosaurs promise a so real you'll believe you are there experience. In this case, there is a landmass we now call Alaska, where these beasts roamed 70 million years ago.
What'd you say you played?
Folk songs.
Folk songs. Thought you said you were a musician.
Greenwich Village in the early 60s is the setting for the Coen brothers inside Llewyn Davis, with Oscar Isaac in the title role as a struggling folk singer with a cat and a lot of problems.
Not 3 chords on a ukulele. Oh, if you make a living at it, more power to you.
TV. It's a lot more than 10 guys. It's an army.
Lone Survivor reenacts a 2005 Navy SEALs mission in Afghanistan, which ended tragically for the men who were assigned to kill or capture a Taliban leader. Mark Wahlberg plays Marcus Luttrell, the SEAL member who survived.
Steal the heart of the audience, and you cannot steal unless you have the nerves of the thief. For me, you are not an opera singer, not yet, and maybe never.
The irrepressible British comedian James Corden is perfectly cast as a bullied cell phone salesman whose love of opera pays off when he is declared the winner on Britain's Got Talent. Based on a true story, One Chance opens December 27th.
Here for today, Paul?
To sing opera.
You gotta see this.
Ready when you are.
Robert De Niro and Sylvester Stallone are back in the ring and grudge match, and Will Ferrell returns to the newsroom in Anchorman 2. I'm Pat Collins for Arts in the City.
It won 5 Tonys during its Broadway run, and now Peter and the Starcatcher is wowing audiences off-Broadway. Donna Hanover sat down with several cast members and the playwright for an inside look at the show.
Here at the New World Stages in New York, 2 ships are about to set sail. In Peter and the Starcatcher, the cast creates a battle at sea, a hurricane, a shipwreck, and a scary jungle with almost no props. And you'll believe, laughing all the while.
In the story, Lord Astor and his daughter Molly have a mission from the Queen to protect a trunk full of star stuff. The dastardly Black Stash, prone to malaprops and played by Rick Holmes, knows the trunk has some kind of treasure. He is aided by the pirate Smee, played by Steve Rosen. Although wearing their civilian clothes, the 2 actors gave us a taste of the show.
Rest yourself a while, Captain. Smee will track your treasure solo.
Macaroni will trick the puling spawn and make them bring it hither. But how to do it? How to smoke them out?
We could lure 'em, Captain.
Lure 'em, you say?
Stupid idea, Smee. Stupid.
Lure 'em, yes. Down here to the Butch. Beach.
Based on a children's book by Dave Barry and Ridley Pearson and written by Rick Ellis, the play answers the question of how Peter Pan became the boy who never grew up.
Do you feel responsibility because so many people love the Peter Pan story?
The reason that I'm in therapy is because I feel responsible for almost everything. My personal favorite moment is where a human being actually flies. There's no harness, there's no hydraulics, there's no tricks. You see a human body in flight. That can only happen because the young man who climbs to the top of the ladder, as he jumps off, trusts that the rest of the company is going to catch him. It's about a young kid who discovers that life is better when you're part of something larger than yourself.
Black Stash is the head pirate.
He's on a great quest. Can't really be entirely a villain until he finds his hero.
It's fun to play the bad guys, too. I don't know about you, but I grew up loving professional wrestling, of all things. I grew up in, upstate New York. And my favorite people were always the bad guys because they, first of all, even as a kid, I sort of knew it was fake. I don't mean, spoiler, wrestling is fake. But I always enjoyed the fact that I knew that these guys were really hamming it up and getting to be the bad guys, and the audience was just enjoying booing them and enjoying how bad they were.
I got booed today.
You did?
Yes, when I came out for the boxing, yeah.
One of the few shows where you're like, I got booed, yes.
Peter and the Starcatcher won 5 Tonys on Broadway and has continued thrilling people off Broadway. The cast uses rope to create hurricanes, ships, and the railing that the orphan Peter goes over into the water. He's rescued by Molly. As for the scenery,
we went dumpster diving day after day after day and would come in and give the set designer, who was there with a glue gun like Martha Stewart, you know, just gluing literally garbage all over the place, but garbage, thematic garbage, like things that boys would play with, like action figures. The plastic that makes up these 3 walls was packing plastic that the Disney theatrical company wrapped the Little Mermaid set in when Little Mermaid closed on Broadway.
And speaking of mermaids, 12 actors play more than 100 roles in Peter and the Starcatcher, including a spin as ladies of the deep.
And when we're getting ready, dressing in those mermaid outfits for the beginning of the 2nd act and just walking around, yep, grown men on our way to work.
This is our job.
You know, with our...
Men in tails.
Last words about Peter and the Starcatcher.
Come see it. It's a romp. You'll have a blast.
One last little tidbit. Tinkerbell is born in Peter and the Starcatcher, and you'll finally find out how Peter Pan learned to fly. I'm Donna Hanover for Arts in the City.
The Boto Yetu dance troupe has special meaning to its founder, Julio Leitao. It's a celebration of African culture, music, dance, and folklore for kids right here in New York City. So what does Boto Yetu mean?
Boto Yetu means our children in Swahili, and actually means our people in Kikongo, in Angola.
But for Leitao, a native of Angola, the significance of the name Boto Yetu goes even deeper.
When I arrived here in the U.S., I was still traumatized with the situation that I lived as a refugee in Congo. And one of my motivations really that brought me here was the incredible culture that African Americans have created. And it's a culture that was created in times which people needed survival in terms of emotionally, you know what I mean? They were trying to connect with where they came from, and that's when Best Art is created. And when I came and I started teaching children, I realized they were missing an incredible piece in their lives, and that was that identity. And I was able to identify with them right away.
Really? How?
It felt, for me, I felt as if they were Africans, but they were just removed. And that's why I called our children, really. And it was an incredible process, and still an incredible process that really connected me to them.
But your troupe now, Boto Yetu is open to everybody, every child.
Yes. Yes.
It's not just black children or...
Because the world is not black and white anymore. You know what I mean? Even, it's not about race. My grandfather is white, you know what I mean? It's about who you are, your identity, and that is the most important thing to me. So I don't discriminate against color, but I do discriminate against attitudes.
Leitao joined the Dance Theater of Harlem as soon as he arrived in New York City in 1990 as a ballet dancer. Even though he was talented in classical dance, he never felt it was his calling. So very soon, he started teaching children.
For me, African dance is culture, it's identity, it's part of who we are. I think, for me, I usually say that dance is only a vehicle for me to empower these children with identity that affects their self-esteem, affects the way they carry themselves. And I have to tell you, this phase right now is probably the most amazing phase that I've gone in my life.
Why?
Because after 20 years of doing this, 23 years, just now, you really start seeing the fruits of it, what you have planted. I never thought that it was going to get here.
And by here, Leitao means the next generation. What started as something small has mushroomed into a new wave of students now contributing as instructors. Jariah West credits Boto Yetu for transforming his life. He's now 25 and Boto Yetu's rehearsal director.
I feel like it's extremely empowering. It's an opportunity to learn about yourself, just self-identity, and it builds your self-esteem because it's like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
And you feel right at home.
Exactly, and it's like-minded individuals just like yourselves. It's hard, it's a challenge, but everybody's going through the same challenge with you. And just having someone there to support you, like, you got this, don't worry. I feel like that's something that is a life-changing, because those older dancers, we're like the best of friends still to this day. Those aren't my friends.
This is still your family.
That's my family.
What does it mean to be a member of your dance troupe?
I work very much in details. I believe that the difference between good and excellence are details. So we have that type of discipline and focus, and that's what we try to instill in those kids.
Lily, Adia, and Ashanique have been part of Boto Yetu for the better part of their lives. They each dance at different levels, but the experience is the same. Tell me what it's like to be part of that group.
It's a lot of fun because each week we get to work together and share off each other's ideas and stuff and help each other when we need help. And outside of school, we're still friends and stuff.
And how about for you? What is it like?
We're all very close. It's a very family community. So I know these are always the friends and family I have outside of school. So like I know I'll always have them.
And how about for you?
Well, I'm in like a lower group than them, so anytime I make a mistake or I look bad, like they're always like, oh, you can fix this and stuff like that, and that really helps with dancing and like, you know, stuff.
And what's the future for Boto Yetu here?
Wow, it's growing so fast. We're working on this production that it's focused in human rights, and people really sacrifice themselves for the
betterment
of the world. And it, you know what I mean, highlights people like Gandhi and Howard Zinn and
Martin Luther King
Toussaint and Malcolm
sure.
X, and you know what I mean. So, and this is the direction that we're going. We will continue to expand here and expand into schools, and this is where we're gonna be now.
Boto Yetu's holiday celebration will take place December 28th at Aaron Davis Hall at City College of New York.
I'm Mike Gilliam. You know, when I was trying to come up with an idea for the program, a funny thing happened. I was racking my brain and I dozed off. And during my nap, I had a dream. I dreamed I was a ringmaster in the circus, but not any circus, the Big Apple Circus.
The multi-talented Mike Gilliam! Good morning, everyone. I'm Mike Gilliam. I work on a show called Arts in the City here in New York at CUNY TV. And we cover everything that's happening in the arts in the city. And what's more happening than the Big Apple Circus? We're going to get on with the show. Welcome to the Big Apple Circus.
For 36 years, the Big Apple Circus has been thrilling New Yorkers and circus lovers around the country.
This year, the entire show takes place in Times Square, from the beginning of the morning all the way through the night, and it turns out it's New Year's Eve, so we have a big celebration just like Times Square. And then the show features all the characters you might bump into in Times Square. Our juggler, amazing Tai Tojo, 15 years old, great juggler, but he actually plays the hot dog vendor in our show, and all his props are in the hot dog cart.
No circus would be complete without a clown. Rob Torres takes audience participation to new heights.
Here in the United States, we don't have many circuses that are intimate one-ring shows. There are a lot of larger arena shows. They're a bigger spectacle. But here we get the personal relationship with each artist as they're doing their act, and they're the focus, the only thing happening. So you get to see a lot more intimately the technique involved and the excitement in that type of act. And the seats here, every seat is so close to the ring that you can really see details.
They call themselves Acro Duo, and they're all about strength and control. Like acrobats? Check out Daniel Sear and his new take on how a painter can use his ladder. Don't try this at home. Fans love it.
It's a great thing to do. It's so much fun. It makes you feel like a kid.
And what circus would be complete without animals? No lions, tigers, or bears here, but there are well-trained dogs. And fourth-generation trainer Jenny Vidbell shows equally well-trained horses.
We all go out there and we have a good time, and I try to show off each animal's personalities instead of rather what they can do, but the beauty of this animal's personality.
You don't hurt the animals.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. They are my family and they're my life. They're what I think about when I go to bed at night and when I wake up in the morning. So I love them.
The Mongolian angels provide a non-traditional take on the traditional trapeze act. Are you into heights? This is Duo Guerrero. They work the high wire while she sings. Fans love the entire circus.
It's wonderful. It's great to have a circus in New York City. She really enjoys it. She saw the first one about last year in Switzerland, and this is much bigger and impressive for her. It's really great. Do you like it?
Do you like the circus?
Yeah.
Now, the Big Apple Circus is amazing, and it's a great holiday treat. It's going to be here at Lincoln Center from now through January 12th. I'm Mike Gilliam for Arts in the City.
There's an old show business adage that always says, never work with children or animals, because the presumption is they'll upstage you every time. Someone should have told our own Barry Mitchell.
Hi, I'm Barry Mitchell, and this is my 10-year-old friend, Allie. Allie, would you agree that during the holiday season, there's nothing like home-baked gingerbread?
Yeah.
Well, this is nothing like home-baked gingerbread. This is a kit. This comes with gingerbread cookies already cut into the shape of a house, and we become the architects, and we have to piece it together. And we're gonna see who can build the better gingerbread house. Ready?
Yes.
May the best man win.
Woman.
The stuff is tacky, but it's not really strong enough to hold up the gingerbread. Clearly the frosting is not going to do the job. Okay, we came prepared. Yes, it's easy cheese.
Now you bring out the glue.
Peanut butter and fluff. We'll make fluffernutters. Allie, do you like riddles?
Yes.
If an athlete gets athlete's foot, what does an astronaut get?
Astronaut's foot.
Mistletoe. Raven, you have any gaffer's tape? Raven's one of our camera people. Great, thank you.
You want a knife, Barry?
Yeah, to cut my throat. Well, we spent all the time we can on this. My house is standing, but it's flat. Allie's is standing, and it has some dimension and a smokestack made out of a Cheese Whiz container. I think you're the winner, Allie.
Thank you.
Build your own gingerbread house in minutes. Well, we followed the instructions. That was easy, wasn't it? Come on, I'll take you to see Santa.
That's our show for today. For more information on any of our stories, you can log on to CUNY.tv. I'm Laguerre-Wilkinson. We'll see you next time on Arts in the City.